Hi, I'm Rosaina Haji. I grew up eating traditionally prepared meals by my grandmother and family. In my travels to many destinations, I enjoyed various cuisines with exotic flavors, which has definitely left a mark in my cooking. My recipes are a concoction of childhood memories and my travels around the world, and mainly to give prominence to those really tasty dishes that are less talked about. This is the minority taste. So we're going to make a rice which is very popular with the Sri Lankan Malaysian community, also known as Sri Lankan Malays. This is a type of nasi. Now I know nasi goreng is the most famous one of them all, but this is predominantly popular in Sri Lanka because it's made by the Sri Lankan Malay community, and this recipe belongs to that community. It's not derived from Malaysia, however it's called a nasi, and it's called a Nasi Thumis, which means a mixed rice. Now when you say mixed rice, people will think, okay, so we're going to mix a bunch of meat and seafood and make it like a Mongolian, but no, this is typically just Sri Lankan stuff that we're going to be using, and let's get into it. My grandmother calls this the poor man's rice, but it's because you just use very simple ingredients. So what you just need is about 2-3 tablespoons of nicely grounded moldy fish and dried chili, but you can also use chili flakes, but chili flakes is the most commonly used ingredient, an onion and curry leaves, a little bit of clarified ghee, or you can use oil, and leftover rice. But you can use freshly boiled rice as well. Now my little addition is the little dried prawns. My grandmother is going to be like, why are you trying to add more things into an already delicious nasi? But trust me, Nana, this is really yum. So into a heated pan, you just put 1 big tablespoon of ghee. You can use coconut oil as well because that is the most common oil that we use back home in Sri Lanka, but I just love the flavor of the ghee that gives into this rice. So into the heated oil you put 1 chopped onion. So when the onions are changing color, you add your moldy fish and my favorite, dried prawns. Now into this, before you mix it, you cut your dried chili into tiny bits. Now my grandmother uses chili flakes. I will be using a little chili flakes too, but I just love the bite of dried chili flakes in this rice. Just add a dash of chili flakes for added heat. Now you just give it a good mix. By this point you're going to get a beautiful aroma and your entire kitchen is going to be smelling really good. Now look at that. All that dried moldy fish and the prawns just soaking up all the oil and the chili. Now this is where you add your salt. I'm using at least a teaspoon of salt, or not too much because I didn't add salt into my rice. But if you have added salt into your rice, you can add just a dash of salt just to add flavor into this. When the onions and the prawns have changed color, you add in your curry leaves. You don't add the sprigs because we eat the curry leaves with the rice because it's not a garnish, it's actually packed with flavor and it's part of the rice and it's an ingredient in this recipe. And you just quickly fry it off. Now the idea is not to fry off the curry leaves too much. It has to retain its color, and just give it a quick little blanch in that heated beautiful mixture. When the curry leaves have changed color, you add your rice in. Now like I said, you can use leftover cold rice, but I'm using fresh rice, whatever you prefer. and quickly just give it a mix. Let every grain of rice really soak up all that beautiful flavor. And that's about it, you guys. There's nothing much to it. This is a very famous dish with the Sri Lankan Malays, Thumis nasi. So there you have it, you guys. This is Thumis nasi, which is very popular with the Sri Lankan Malay community. We have it almost every week. You can have a boiled egg with it, which is usually what we have, or a fried egg on top, or something very mild like a slice of grilled salmon with just salt and pepper on top. You don't need anything much when there's so much flavor in this. I like to have it on its own because it has my special prawn addition, this dried prawn addition, and the moldy fish. Let's have a bite with everything in it. Your chili flake, curry leaf, dried prawns, moldy fish. It has so much flavor and just so the right amount of spice and heat and all that, just little things that add so much flavor to it. Hope you try this out, you guys. Please leave a comment below if you heard about this rice before, if you have had it before, and subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next episode of The Minority Taste.